Score 202. score 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't. Yo. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? The sexual revolution's being podcasted, and I am excited. Yo, we haven't been live in a minute.
Yeah.
I had
right.
oral surgery again.
Yeah.
They sliced my gums up.
Shit. Are you done finally, or you still got another session?
Another session.
Oh, boy.
My gums.
Also, you could do oral better?
Huh? Yeah.
Is it also you could do? I don't know how that works.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
They just told me how to do it.
So you had you over 8 women's pussies, and now you had a Tommy John surgery?
My gums feel like a French whore's pussy.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
First of all, let me shout out to my man in the motherfucking big. Shout out to Harry.
Yeah.
In the building. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
In the building. I was sick. We couldn't help people.
No, for a week. You couldn't.
It's been a while. I didn't go live on the week. On the Sunday, I didn't go live. I didn't go Thursday. We were off last Tuesday, so.
Well, this is why you guys should subscribe to the Patreon, because the Patreon kept going, just so you know.
Yeah.
We kept putting up episodes. We bank them, and we put a bunch up. Patreon.com/manschool202 if you want to sign up. You get bonus content. So when Dante's having oral surgery because he's eating women out too much, and he's out of commission,
munching on box.
Yeah,
Big shout.
You could go to patreon.com/manschool202 and the old episodes too. A bunch of the archived episodes from the very beginning.
I like how you working today.
Go
on point.
Yeah.
Big shout to the producer in the building, Domino 66 all the way.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
What's going on? You good?
I'm good.
Smashing Bush, smashing gas. What's up?
I'm going to the Mets game Thursday. Fireworks night.
Nice.
All right.
All
cool.
goes well.
This is a special show.
Yeah.
Now, I may have said that 1,000 times before, but this time I mean it. I got my man in the building today.
This is a guy we talked about for years. His name has come up here and there on this show.
Absolutely. You didn't know we was talking. Big shout to, hold on, let me introduce you. Big shout to Punisher in the building, the infamous Punisher, the meat slinger.
Internationally known, locally respected.
And,
now worldwide.
Worldwide.
We'll get into that maybe later. But
we can.
You knew him before he was infamous/famous.
So let me. So I've talked about stripping and years of stripping.
Sure.
I won't say I was the OG pun. I wasn't. I was the OG of the second wave.
You like the Magic Johnson?
Dude, I think you downplaying it, bro.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, he's downplaying it, man. Like if I'm keeping it 100, the way I look at it, when I came into the game, this is how I would say it. You know how there's eras, right? So let's go to NBA.
Okay.
When I came in, he was Jordan.
Whoa.
He was Jordan. Now I might have caught him on Wizards Jordan.
You caught him in the back end of his career, but he was still a legend.
Well, when you was a baby, I was Jordan all the way.
Yeah, when I was a baby, he was Jordan all the way. So he was
every once in a while he'd get a 50. So
dude, he'll hit a 50 every now and then. But he was when I came in, he was Wizards Jordan. So I would like to say he took me under his wing, and then I became Kobe.
I would agree. I would agree with that. Yes.
That's really what it is. I don't know what he says on here, but he was Jordan.
It was all positive to my memory. Yeah.
Well, I think because I haven't maintained my physique of that time, and I've been doing comedy and acting and stuff like that. It's just I feel like you move on, like your life moves on, and if you don't, I got a little cocoa butter. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have my shit moist. You know what I'm saying? Your life doesn't end. And you got to be in a situation where you're constantly moving your life forward.
Got to evolve.
Yeah. So if you sit back in the time, it's so many dudes that we know, I remember back when, they still live, they're not creating memories
They're not creating new memories, new moments.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah.
living off the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
And
just-
remember when is the lowest form of conversation,
Yeah,
as they say.
That's the pinnacle, and they don't have no aspirations to reach
Yeah.
heights similar in any other ways. I get it.
And they're not trying, and it was sort of like I used to be the head of I was the quarterback in high school. You
4
know
touchdowns
The
in a
Al
single
Bundy,
game.
the
Yeah,
Al
Al
Bundy,
Bundy.
the Al Bundy, yeah.
that.
Hulk high.
And I'm still trying to be the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I'm still. So it was wild because a lot of times I didn't realize. First of all, I didn't realize how big it was. Like the whole scene was when it was huge.
Dude, we were like local. We were like local celebrities. You were
And
a
I mean,
straight celebrity.
And I was traveling up and down the East Coast in my like Florida and Virginia and doing all of that. But I tell people I had a radio bump on Hot 97. You know, when it's just say that when I don't keep my radio on Hot 97. I'm taking my clothes off with Prince Mandingo.
When I'm not shaking my dick around for the ladies, I'm listening to blazing hip hop and R&B.
Bro, a radio bump is crazy.
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
think about it, bro.
This
For a male
Prince
stripper,
Mandingo.
that's crazy.
It is. And Pun was just a good dude. He was just a really good dude. And I think that's where you radiated to me. You just was a kind dude. Just like
You took him under your wing because you liked his
Yeah, you
his
know
aura.
I do that. I do that in comedy.
Yeah.
Because it's just so much dirtbags. And I also didn't realize how wild I was wild. Like
Yeah, he was Jordan. You know how you get the stories about Jordan?
Sure.
yeah, I was regulating.
Yeah,
Dante, there's a lot of times Dante used the phrase, and I took that personally.
exactly, man. I'm telling you, man. So I was lucky that he gravitated to me that way because, dude, people feared him, man. Like he was the guy. Like he wasn't about no nonsense, nothing. It was serious, man.
Well, a lot of times your name comes up. There's never been anything bad to my memory, but what it does come up as is one of the people around during situations where Dante was in action in the background while Dante was punching somebody out for being thrifty, let's say, or disrespectful.
They didn't want to pay.
Yeah. My bank account definitely benefited.
And then it just was like I felt like I was fighting uphill because I was trying to take the business to another level where you wouldn't know this, but I was trying to set up tours to Japan and like internationally, and the group Wet Seduction, I had them in place in each borough. This is like when you started, and all my guys was promoting shows, and then I was trying to go internationally. And the problem is that so many, you get guys, cornball dudes who all of a sudden have access to women that they'd never had before. And then their ego comes into play because they think they're the shit, because it's always some chick in your ear. You better than him. You don't need it. And I had a lot of dudes that kind of, they snaked me. And I really just got tired of the business. And then when I stepped out, then it was like, wow. It was like, because I didn't realize that I was really regulating.
How much you were regulating.
Yeah, because when I left, it was Wild West. It was like.
Yeah, it went crazy.
Well, it all fell apart, too, because it doesn't exist like it did then.
Well, you had guys from Philly and D.C. and guys who had markets like strip. It was kind of like wrestling.
Sure, territories. You'd have different
but they
territories.
weren't making no money. New York was making money, and so.
So you're the Vince McMahon of male stripping.
Oh yeah, and you don't just and what happened was you had guys who were created this promoter / dancer thing, and then guys who just were promoting, they were like, well, I'm gonna get this guy because it's gonna pull the numbers in. But what we did was saturated the market with guys from Philly that wasn't making no money, or DC or Baltimore. None of them. They just came into our market, and I was trying to yell. I was screaming and yelling, "Yo, what are y'all doing? You're saturating them." And then there was no money to be made, and the show and everything just kind of
started leveling
fizzling out and shit like this. But Pun was the guy.
He was the next generation.
He was the guy.
So you were like you were Hulk Hogan, and then he was The Rock. You passed the baton.
Yeah, I might have been Bob Backlund.
Oh, Bruno Sammartino.
I might have been Chief J. Strongbow.
Oh boy.
But he was the guy. And the thing is, just a really straight up kind of dude, just a good dude that, you don't mind looking out for. Just was a straight up dude. And so it's like, now the whole thing was like you were promoting shows on your own. When I ran into you and I was doing comedy, I remember we ran into the first time I hadn't seen you in ages, and you were promoting, y'all were selling tickets and you were still making money producing shows.
Yeah.
Right? And Rod went into porn. He went straight into
porn.
It's good that you're using government names. I think that's great.
Yeah, Rod.
Hot Rod.
Oh, Hot Rod.
Yeah,
Right.
but check his porn out, whatever. And Rod was just have random chicks that he was picking up after the strip show and then fuck them in a hotel and film it.
I mean, I like that he's double. He's making use of his time. He's double dipping.
Yeah. I mean,
multitasking.
What Rod thing really came along is, I don't know if you remember the scandal, but he was a firefighter.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And so
he was actually he was in Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
The actual competition, the
he
bodybuilding competition.
Came in 13th, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he got it. He definitely placed.
Yeah.
I mean, 13th
in Olympia.
Yeah, and Olympia is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
it is. But he got into the scandal of the whole bodybuilder, firefighter, steroids, and then he took that rush of press and then centered it around porn.
Yeah.
And been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's still at it. All right, that's a success story.
You can Google him.
I will not. I'll take your word for it. And believe that I wish Hot Rod well. I don't need any samples or any work, but good for you. Good for you, man.
Yeah, but I didn't realize a lot of this because I'm always a dude. I'm always forward looking.
You're always
all the guys that we. Put the you can put the number up, bro. Anybody because we haven't spoke to people.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I wanted you to bring you on is because of the fact that, like, you literally had with the whole this is Punisher from the Diddy trial and all kinds of, just so y'all know, and I think it was $2,000 a pop. He was paying like $2,000 a pop.
$2,000 a pop, yeah.
So it's like, all y'all young dudes who have this game and y'all you have these girl problems. It's like, let me ask you this: what do you think your body count is, if you had to guess? Estimate.
Oh man, the math he's doing right
Yeah,
now. He's doing the Doctor
You want a
Strange math.
calculator?
He's doing that Doctor Strange thing. The body count must be amazing.
It's bad, bro. Like I'm almost embarrassed. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah. Is
I will tell. I'll give you.
Well, let's ballpark estimate.
So let me say this. I used to keep track. When you're younger, you keep track.
Yeah.
Right. So I kept track. We got a call. What's your name? Where you calling from?
That. We'll get back to that.
Hey, what's up? I can't give you my government name, but my name's T.
What up,
I just
T?
wanted to ask you, how do you get over a situation that you've been in?
Well, you got to be a little more specific than that.
Okay. How can you be in a relationship for an extensive amount of time, maybe like 8, maybe 9 years, and then try to cut that off? But you still have the love.
Are you trying to cut it off, or are you trying to get over it?
Trying to get over it.
So y'all already broke up, and you're trying to get over it.
No, not trying to break. No, the thing is not even broken up.
Okay.
He's somewhere else, I'm here, but it's like love lost. But again, I find myself still paying for things and doing things.
Okay.
And then it just feels.
So you don't want to be with her no more.
Pretty much.
So that's not the same question. If you're asking me how do you get over it, right? That's a different thing than I'm not interested in this relationship and I'm still in it, right? You understand that that's a different question.
Yes, sir.
So why won't you just end it?
Maybe, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been thinking about it. Maybe it's the emotional attachment. I'm not sure.
Okay, but you just said you're not in love with her, right?
No.
So then the emotional attachment is not what it is, it's what you perceive it could be. Does that make
Okay.
sense? So here's
Yeah.
here's the thing. Anytime we go into a situation and a relationship is done, right? What I think
Yeah.
we are attached to, the analogy I use is that when you buy a house, you buy it for what it's appraised for now, not what it was
Yes,
appraised
sir.
for 10 years ago, and not what it would be worth 10 years from now. The price is what the price is. So when you have
Yes,
a
sir.
situation where there's no love lost and you're not interested in somebody, what you're attached to is the memory of what it was, or potentially the fact that you could get back to that place where it was before. You understand?
Agree.
So you're not. So what you're attached to is the past, not really what it is in the present. And I think the other thing is that you're just not really being honest with yourself. Because if
I
you
agree.
can say to me, if you can call up on the phone on the internet and say, "Yo, I'm not in love with her, but how do I get?" Well, you just got to end it. But the point is, what I think happens also is do you have anything on the roster?
Can you expand on that just a little?
Do you
bit?
have any options? Do you have other girls that you're dealing
Yeah.
with?
Yeah, I have other options, but like I've been afraid to move forward with those other options, if that makes sense.
Okay, well, are you
Well,
you fucking them?
No sexual contact, no nothing, because I don't want that bond. To be honest,
You don't want what bond?
no, not with her, not with the other, like not with the other roster.
Are you trying to be
I don't
faithful?
put
Is that what you're
that on.
saying?
You're
You're
being
trying
faithful
be
to the chick
faithful.
that you don't care about.
Yeah,
How long have you felt
'Cause
this
I
way
know,
about
'cause-
wanting to break up with her?
I know on that roster, I don't really care about. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know it, and if I put the dick down, then they're gonna be. You know how it goes.
All right,
And
nigga.
I
Okay,
just-
now we gonna stop. I'm not gonna let you.
Okay.
No, I don't know, and it doesn't. And what you're perceiving may be the case, or it may not be the case. So look, if
Yes,
it's like pun, when we talk about being with a chick, right? One of the things that I want you to expound on this. I don't give a fuck what you think if you think you're the greatest lover in the world. You not. What you are is a guy who has experience, and once you meet with this one girl, you have to know, you being a great lover is your ability to adjust to the woman that you're dealing with, not that you have, I do this, I do that, I do this, correct?
Agree. 100%.
Agree.
Yeah.
100%.
So if you go down on a girl, and I'll give you an example. You go down on a girl. One girl wants small circles around the clip. One wants underneath the clip. One wants on top of the hood. One can't take direct contact. One wants to, like, there's a million variations. But if you don't know what the variations, you still have to try and kind of maximize the intensity of the sex. So when you're saying you're a great lover, that's bullshit. You're not. Nobody is. You may be.
No. I agree with that. No, I agree with that because I'm the type.
Okay,
of person
then you're
that
worried.
I
Then
feel-
your perception of the fact that you're afraid to put it down is bullshit because you don't know that.
You're right. You're right because you have to learn the person, and I agree with that. But I will learn the person. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
well,
Like,
maybe or maybe not, or maybe she wants to smash and dash. So if you've not had that,
Yeah. And another thing
You
you're not
right.
gonna you could learn
right.
everything that you need to learn physically, have that down pat. But if she get in her head, then it's irrelevant.
yeah.
Because sex for women
right.
is not just
You're right.
physical. You still got to have the mental connection. So you can have all the tricks of the trade, but
Yeah.
if you're not there mentally, then another dude that just gets in her mind could just trump you like that.
Yeah.
smash. So what would you guys recommend? That
So what I'm
Leave the
saying
whole
is
thing?
you got to make a decision. Being a man means making a decision. So
know.
if this is not something you want to do, then you be a man and you have some direction, and you push forward and you make a decision to end it because it's not what you want. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to miss her, because you got to understand that even as human beings, we pair bond. You get accustomed to her smell, the way she feels, the way she talks. You get accustomed to that, and then when you don't have it, you desire it because it's something that feels comfortable. You feel me?
Agree.
So
Agree.
that's gonna happen anyway. That would happen to any girl that you've been to, even somebody that's got trash ass, just horrible, But you gotta be a man and make a decision. If this is not what you want, and how old are you now, Pun?
I'll be 52.
I'm
52.
sorry.
And I was so pun 52, and he's still living it. You know what I'm saying? You're still trying to create these memories and trying to move forward. So, and how old are you?
I'm 29.
Doug, man, stop wasting time.
That's the thing. That's what I'm afraid of, right?
What do you
there.
mean
What
afraid of? You're saying I'm afraid of it, but you're doing it.
Yeah.
Understand something, man. You have to, if you want to be respected as a man, you got to have intention. Go ahead.
What is it that you don't like about this girl you're with? Out of curiosity, what is it that you're like? I'm done with it.
Okay, so it's just all right, daddy issues. Like it's just a whole bunch of family issues, and then like I do love her, but it takes a toll on her and it takes a toll on me.
It's a lot of drama.
Exactly. No baby mama drama.
No,
not
he
baby.
said drama.
Just drama in general. Like
Yeah,
drama,
drama, and it's all it's a constant stress on her, and I'm aware that I can relieve some of that, but then again, do I want to do that? Even though I want to be a good person, even though like
being a good person is not. You got to put your happiness first, because if you don't, nobody else will. So if you've decided that this is a burden that you don't want to take, you're allowed to change your mind. I would say this to you. I mean, and when a woman don't want you, and we've done this where like you their favorite dancer, and then all of a sudden you not somebody else is right, and then they don't hesitate with the fact that they're not feeling you no more. If they're not feeling you, you know it immediately.
Yeah. But the thing I'm hearing the most out of what this dude is saying is the thing he's looking to avoid from this woman is what you get from every single woman.
I was gonna say that.
So it's like you're looking for this
Flawless.
this flawless piece, and that's just not gonna happen with any woman.
I know,
bro.
that's the thing. That's the issue that I'm having. Like I'm fully aware. I'm not a dumbass. I'm 29. I've been through the ringer. It's the fact that now, okay, should I just fuck all this shit and then just be happy, just do what the fuck I need to do, or still try to sit here but every time I do it, I see myself deteriorating, but I can't detach myself. That's the part that
You're not. You're gonna say
No,
something.
I was going to push back just slightly on something that he said, that every woman is going to have that. The problem is you have to determine if this is enough or too much, because you can't get into the habit of going, well, every woman is going to be a pain in the ass to some extent.
Yeah,
which
but
is
there's a
kinda
degree.
True. There's a degree.
Yeah, there's a degree.
But you have to decide, like, is this too much for just a relationship, or is this too much also for me? Like, because listen, there are people there's drama or there's just regular relationship problems, but there's also toxic Amber Heard.
Somebody who's
shit.
who's crazy, out of your fucking mind, or whatever.
And also, and also if it makes your life unpleasant, if she's not allowing you to fix it, if it doesn't get any better, you got to look for your happiness first.
Yeah, but this still comes down on a base level. This is a phone call, not a consonant. I'm not doing a consultation with you. DanteNero.com. Click on consult if you want to book some time with me. But the reality is, on this, you have to make a decision. Like, does this work for you or doesn't it work for you? And I think what you have to.
And that's the part I'm afraid of that I'm realizing.
Well, then I don't care.
Well, you're not sure. Wait, when you say afraid, you're not sure. You're unsure.
Unsure, pretty
okay.
much. Yeah.
You're unsure whether or not you should break up with this girl or not. That's what he's kind of saying.
Well, what are you afraid of?
Oh, man. Because, and then, damn, I'm just going to fucking say it. Because I'm naturally a people pleaser. I'm going to be completely honest.
That is absolutely a problem.
There we go.
Then this has nothing to do with her. Go ahead.
That's what I was saying. Listen, man, as a man, they say it's a reason why you have to lead, right? And if any relationship you get in with a woman, you have to maintain a stance, a position where it's about your needs, your goals, and what's going on, and how you interact with her as a byproduct of that. If you go into every relationship with a woman with a pleasing mentality,
they're going to stomp all over you. I agree.
And even if she doesn't stomp all over you, her needs, because they're based on her feelings, are always going to be something that's going to drain you, right? So
Yeah.
so that's why I said earlier it's going to happen with every single woman. I had the same problem, right? Even in my position, I get a girl and now I want to please her, I want to make her happy,
Sure, yeah.
and then it just keeps expanding and expanding
Yes,
because that's
yes,
their nature.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Unless you change yourself first.
Yeah.
And put yourself first, like Dante's
probably
saying,
gonna happen again
it's going to
and
happen
again and
with
again,
every
yeah.
single chick.
Yeah. Because
You know?
you say I'm a pleaser, I'm a people, and there's nothing. Look, I'm definitely a pleaser. I mean, I'm always looking out for people. I've always been kind to people. I mean, I might have been a wild dude, but I always looked out for dudes. And a lot of times, I was wild for other people. Like, oh, I ain't gonna let you. I ain't gonna let you fuck my. Are you crazy? You dirtbag, you know? But the point is, you have to understand that everybody's not worth that. Does she make you happy, though?
At one time, but now it just feels like it's overwork. Like it's like I'm putting in overtime now.
Have
Now
you
it's like
talked to
I'm
her?
physically drained.
Have you talked to her about this? Like, not breaking up, but
Every-
talking to
okay.
her about, like, hey, this is becoming
this is where
difficult.
Okay.
No,
No,
he
I
didn't
know.
have a
Okay.
conversation.
Let me finish this one place. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna let you guys speak. It's not the fact that I haven't tried to talk to her about it. It's the fact her life is chaos, and then it's just like now. I'm
Okay,
just
that's
gonna add
a
even
cop
more
out.
stress.
Dog. That's a cop out.
Mhm.
Hold on,
That's
real
a-
quick.
okay.
Give me a second. Big shout to Xavier Corina, $5 on the Cash App. Big shouts to Lloyd Hinton, $15 on the Cash App. Thank you, baby. You the best. You are the motherfucker that's my people. Keep the money, bro. Give me some money. Here's my thing. Don't tell me that her life is so chaotic that you can't say, look, I got a problem here. This is too much. And if this continues this way, then I have to leave.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
How long did that take me to say that? Just then.
Couple seconds.
A couple seconds. So when you say what you're afraid of is when you say I'm overwhelmed, it's just bullshit, dog. So what I have to say is you're just not being honest, dog.
True.
And
feel
the principles of this show is ACE: authenticity, credibility, and empathy. Tell the truth, always keep your word, and have the empathy for other people, the way to understand that people have gone through things that you have not. Now, just like anything else, people fall in love and they're together, you love somebody, and that changes. And when that changes, you make adjustments. It doesn't make you a bad guy because you fall out of love or you don't, or if it's too much. Or the only thing that I will promise you is everything will change. Good times will be bad times will be good. But what you have to do is remove your emotion and make a decision based on what the facts that you have. Is she so toxic that it's too much? Does she make you happy? Do you love her? Don't you love her? Is it ever going to change? Do you not want? Is this not the type of relationship? I mean, you have to ask these questions, and you haven't even had a conversation with her yet.
No, I haven't.
And so when you do this, I'm 29 through. I've been through the ring, and no, the fuck you haven't. You 29, dog. I'm 59. Like,
Yes, sir.
do you understand? Like, what you ain't did shit. And you know, we talk about body count, like I stayed
In the thousands.
I kept track up until I was 32. 3 years older than you. At 32,
Yeah.
I was at 1,400. That's when I stopped. That's when I stopped counting, right? Everything after that is an estimate. Pun might have me beat because.
In the sake of all the Diddy trial and all that, I'm gonna plead the fifth.
All right, fine.
I'm gonna plead the fifth, bro.
But it's just the way it's the opportunity is there.
Yeah, it's crazy,
It's
man.
the opportunity is there. It's just dudes. I know dudes that quit who didn't have that swag because they didn't have that opportunity and had no game afterwards. And
Yes, sir.
just most of the dudes don't have game. Like that's how it is with a lot. You find out a lot with NBA players. That's why they get took. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why fucking
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
Oh no.
Carmelo got caught up with
Anthony?
With Lala was an old broad that she snatched him up at 20.
Old broad.
Yeah.
A little long in the tooth, and he was in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so what I'm saying is, you know,
Bro, the
Go ahead.
first thing I think you need to do is, one, you have to have a
have a
conversation
conversation.
with her directly about everything
Yeah,
and going,
of
look, I'm not. The next time that this type of interaction happens, you got to, like, hold on, let's stop this right now. I'm not happy with how this is going. I'm not happy with how you're reacting about stuff. I'm not happy about how you don't appreciate what I'm doing here, and I'm unhappy about it. And you got to try to communicate and see if there's any fix in that. What her reaction is, okay, I'm sorry, let me work on it. Because if she's not aware of it, you're definitely going to hit her.
that's unfair.
That's unfair. You're gonna hit her cold, right? And so that's the first thing you should have done. And again, everybody's learning, but you need to address those things as they're happening. And you know what? It might make it easier because if she gives you an attitude and goes, "Fuck you, this is the way I am. Take me or leave me, love me or leave me." Like, that might make it easier for you to go, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
And she might go, well, how can I fix this? What do you need from me? If she's really down for you, she'll do that. So,
yes, I agree.
so you gotta ask.
All right, Pun. Thank you guys, man. I watch you guys every Tuesday.
All right, brother.
appreciate
We're gonna be going live a little more recently. Dom, the food came is 8.
He's asking for a pin.
Yeah, 8175.
And listen, if you listen every Tuesday, if you're from Godfrey's channel, number one, subscribe to the Man School 202 YouTube channel because that's when Dante does lives.
Yeah.
More often than 1 week. Sometimes you
Yeah.
know Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And then if you want more, Patreon.com/manschool202. That's where we do a bonus episode every week. That's where all the archive episodes every week. So there's no reason to not be learning. Even if Dante is in the hospital with his teeth all messed up and stuff, recovering. There's no reason. You have no excuse.
Yeah.
There's always chance to learn.
I also want to say it's really interesting that because of what my reputation and because these are fans of the show and stuff, Doug, I need you to be honest. Like, not being honest doesn't give me the map from which I can navigate you through the hard times. Because if you're being dishonest, I can't tell you what the fuck to do.
Do you think part of it is guys aren't aware of like what they should be doing? They're a little lost. Or do you think they're just being disingenuous?
When I asked him,
sure.
Did you have a conversation with him? He goes, yeah, it's just been so. Yeah, you
No,
full of
then the
shit,
answer
bro.
is
Come
no.
on, stop.
The answer is no.
Stop.
Yeah, he blamed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did blame her.
And
look,
she don't even know.
She don't even know.
It might be her fault, but you got to have a discussion to find that out because sometimes people are like, all right, I didn't realize I'm doing that. Give me a chance to fix it.
Yeah.
But like I said, if she comes back at you like, you know what, this is all your fault.
You're trying to change
You're trying
me.
to change me. I don't. This is who I am. Love me or leave me, and then that's when you leave.
Because we, as men, you change all the time.
Yeah, but in his case, he acknowledges he's a pleaser.
Yeah.
So he's setting a precedent with her.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna do all this stuff to please you, and
Yeah.
then in the middle of it,
Then
you
you're
get
mad at her.
tired of her.
You get
Yeah.
tired.
and now you
of it.
resent her.
Yeah.
Because she's taking advantage of you
Taking
being a
advantage.
pleaser.
So Punisher, you're saying you're a pleaser, right? In all of your relationships, do you feel like you're a pleaser? Or are you a little bit less now these days?
So he'll tell you this. So as a stripper, we're entitled, right? So
Yeah.
you got all these women after you,
Sure.
and you're like, whatever, get out of here, whatever.
Yeah.
So what would happen to me is when I finally pick a
Get
chick,
one that's special.
and I thought when she's special, then I change the dynamic.
Yeah.
And then I start pleasing her, start this, that, and the other, whatever. And every time I did that,
They'll take
they flip.
advantage.
yo, got done dirty.
Take it for
I
granted.
lose my whole.
What the reason why they found you attractive in the first
I
place?
lose it. And I just learned this.
Wow.
I just learned this.
should How
old are you
really
now?
bad. I'll be 52. I want to say I
Unbelievable.
just learned
Can you
this,
believe that?
Like,
At 52,
Yeah.
man.
yeah, I just learned this probably 47.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's nobody to teach it.
Nah.
See, the difference is when you put the numbers up, right? 513-202-NER. The thing about it is, and we have guys, we know guys with body count 3,500, $4,000. Shout out to DJ Pleasure.
DJ Pleasure, sure.
But
Now, DJ Pleasure, was he also in the stripping game, or just?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I was saying, because that's a lot for a DJ. I mean, I know.
well,
the
he
DJs.
wasn't a DJ then. He
No, I know.
spun,
That's
but
what I'm
he was,
saying. You know.
Yeah, he was full blown.
Well, it's tough to tell what their gimmick is when you go, hey, he's a dentist. I go, a dancing dentist or an actual DDS?
He was pleasure. But what happens is you have, so first thing, what's interesting is you learn when you're dancing, we have the advantage of, because if you can't, if your gimmick doesn't work, if your persona, or if it doesn't work, you don't get paid, right?
You don't make the money.
You don't make no money. So you have to understand how women find attraction. And what women will find attractive is the fantasy and the details. It's in the details. So it's funny, like, it's funny because he always corrects me because I remember I gave Pun his first player chaps, right?
Assless chaps.
Because
but all chaps are assless.
Oh, exactly.
That's
He always
what
goes,
makes
they're
them
all
chaps.
assless. I go, but I was like, yo, here, just take this, because I don't know what you was doing in the beginning. I was like, that's
My name was Punisher, and I was wearing like yellow
yellow
outfits.
shorts, tennis shorts, and a sun visor. And I was like, yo, come here. Look, here, take these. You know.
Yeah.
And then he got the S&M mask, and he had the leather harness, and so the thing about that, why women found that attractive. First, he was hitting the gym hard as a mother, he was ripped to pieces, but it was the mysteriousness of, he had the S&M mask with the zipper.
That's true.
And they were like, oh,
That was
what is this? Like what I would do, I should dress like a fucking African warrior, but I never talked. I never smiled. I was in it, in the character.
In gimmick, as they would say in wrestling. Yeah.
Right, because that's what they wanted. They want to be in gimmick. And what's funny is the allure of you being this stripper and then you giving them a real opportunity to get to know you. You still have to maintain your framing, because you're really just a nice dude.
And that's the fantasy.
Yeah.
Right? So what I realized at some point, and that's why it probably worked for us, I was like, you got to walk out in that gimmick something they would imagine walking into their bedroom.
Yes.
Something that creates a sexual fantasy.
Yeah.
And if your character doesn't create the sexual fantasy, then you're working uphill.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you here's the other thing. I always talk about this when it comes to attraction and women, incongruency. So if your character is totally different from who you are as a person, when they get to know you, they go, oh, this.
Yeah, you become a goof.
Yeah, you
become a goof.
It's so crazy because it
no.
changes so readily. That changes, the perspective changes so readily. So it's and it's like this idea of, look, don't get me wrong. Like I absolutely, and I think you learn these things because you have such a cross section of women, different types of women, different nationalities, different cultures and stuff. So you learn things because you just have your control group is so wide. But you still got to be you got to pay attention.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'll agree with this, right? The reason why it works is so when you walk into a party and it's 20 different women, right?
Yeah.
And you got to interact with every single one of them.
Yeah.
You're not going to read every single woman.
No.
So you got to create a confidence aura about yourself.
That everybody.
That they all susceptible to you.
Yeah.
And where we mess up, where I messed up is when I would get into a relationship.
You was a
instead of
different dude.
my control aura.
You wasn't the Punisher.
Yeah, it's what do you need and what do you whatever, and then my
no.
aura's gone.
That's the fantasy, and the aura is
And
gone.
my aura's gone.
Yeah.
So
What
I
attracted them to you in the first place is gone.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
looking for the Punisher, and you're out there, hey,
You
what
the
can I do
cream
for you?
puff.
Yeah.
And that's it.
and
It's over.
they go, what is this? And it's the incongruency. It's a funny thing. Like when Harry and I first met, and I was talking to him about just teaching him shit, and I remember there was a high school chick that he had a crush on, and he was texting her. So I have this thing. I talk about this thing all the time. It's Lay to 5 bricks. It's where you go out and you pay a compliment to 5 women a day, with no intention on getting the number. Love your shoes, nice hair. Your makeup is fantastic. I love that sweater. I love that. That's all you do. 5 a day. It's to get them in a place where we were, where we had women. You know what I mean? So it's not a sexual. It's not as intense, but it's an opportunity for you to just learn that women are. I mean, we as you, when you're on the other side of that, when you're performing them, you understand that women are. They're just like everybody else. There's no fear.
Yeah, dude. You know what, man? That's great because it's something you touched on earlier that I experienced. Like I worked so many years meeting women and dealing with women through dancing, and that's my gimmick. Yeah. That I realized that when I come out of dancing scenarios,
I still have something to give them.
I don't have nothing.
Yeah.
Like my game is
whack.
limited. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I really experienced that. Yeah. And so
well, you were playing a character, and then
they fell in love with
the character, and you don't realize you're a person. Once you're done with the character, you don't realize that they fell in love with the character, right? And so you as a person is not what they, and not to top that off, what you are as a person, as a people pleaser, is the complete opposite of what your character is.
Well, I'm not even talking about on that level. I'm talking about the initial stuff he's talking about now.
Oh, yeah.
Just the 5. Because when I'm in the club with the stripper,
they're
the stripper
pursuing
club,
you.
They're pursuing me, so I don't have to have any
and you
flow.
don't have to have
So if you take me out of the strip club and just put me in the regular club where there is no character, where there is no he's already the Punisher, I didn't have those normal,
you didn't have that
personable.
You didn't know how to make the
platform shoes.
Yeah.
You didn't know how to make the world your strip club.
I didn't know how to make the world my
and
strip
that's
club.
the thing.
That's
you have to learn it. So it's when Harry had this was years ago, maybe about 20. He was so this girl was like a crush he had in high school, and he was texting her. She saw him that he was doing comedy, and he was texting her, and I was like, give me that. And I was doing the texting for him. Now, my texting is way more aggressive
than mine was, for sure. Then.
And I was like, blah, 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 blah. But I said, look, so she's coming over to his house. And I said to him, look, when she comes to the house, right, you need to pin her up against the wall and put your tongue in her mouth. Because the way I was texting her, that guy would have done that. Yeah. Not only that, I was talking some filthy, it was just filth dog, right? We got a call. Let's go.
Oh.
What's your name? Where you calling from, family?
Elijah from Seattle.
What's going on? How can I help you, bro?
I'm just calling because I'm in school currently, and after the semester's over, I want to find more hobbies that really better me as a man. I've boxed and done that kind of stuff, so that improves my confidence. That masculine feeling to be able to hold myself, protect my woman, all those kind of things. And I wanted to see what else could I pick up on the side, things that would be fun, but also directly correlate with a stronger sense of manhood and all the things that come with Ace.
Well, so I'm going to tell you what I did. I did for 3 years. I took salsa lessons for 3 years. It was just something that I wanted to do, right? First of all, salsa is a great activity because it is the epitome of what women find attractive in a relationship. When you do salsa, right, you have to lead her. So you are directing her movement. Whatever she turns when you tell her to turn, she moves this way. And so it's a sexual thing because it goes to the actual context of masculine and feminine kind of the roles, right? When you learn to do it well, it is really easy to meet women because if you got a strong lead, you could look like shit. And pull. I mean, it's weird how it's in that. You talk about being that dude in that thing, if you the salsa and you nice, you could be a fucking troll, and girls want to dance with you, and they and your hands are on them and stuff. It was a great way, but you also gonna suck at it, just like boxing. Like it takes time to know how to pivot on that right hand. That's where the power comes, when you pivot on that right foot, when you throw that right hand. So you got to learn it. You got to learn it, and it's a process of learning. But I think also you got to, especially you're a young dude, that whatever you want to do, but how I would say do something that you wouldn't normally do. You know what I'm saying? Something that makes you feel uncomfortable. Something that you want to do and you don't think you could do. Whatever it is. I mean, water ski, ice, whatever it is, anything that you do actively, that you do when you experience things, you will learn things.
How about this stuff that makes you self-sufficient too? Whether it's cooking classes or learning mechanics, like fixing your car.
Doug, I cooked. When I went to college, I cooked. I was the head cook in an Italian restaurant for 3 years in college, because I started out as dishwasher, and then this guy actually had this high-end Italian restaurant that in Wappinger Falls was nothing but all they wanted was pizza and meatballs, and he was cooking rigatoni with the 4 cheeses and all kinds of masala and stuff with fresh wine. They cooked, and the guy, he was going back, he was hemorrhaging because he was such a hardhead, but I ended up cooking full time. So, man, what's better than, you go, are you hungry? And then you in your plate and you just whip. Oh my God, this is like I had cooked so well that I had girls that didn't want to cook for me because I cooked so much better than them. It made them intimidating. Yeah. So. But when you're the full package and they don't ever forget you either. When you become this, so how old are you now?
I'm 25.
Yeah, man, you're a baby, dog. You got all the time in the world. Stop wasting, do some shit, man. Travel.
Well, that's what he wants to do,
And whatever feels something that you're interested in, you feel uncomfortable doing, just throw yourself into it. That in itself is what gives you confidence.
That, and I think reading books and stuff that you're
interested
in, history
absolutely.
Books, or just
traveling, museums, just anything. I mean, just immerse yourself.
And then you'll discover more stuff.
Big shouts to Will Baggs. We got $10 from the Cash App. Thank you, baby. You know how we do it. But yeah, I mean, just explore. I mean, just, what I did? I was like, when I'm 40 years old, what do I want to look like? What do I want my personality to be? What do I want to be able to say? Something I didn't do is, I always thought it would be cool to, I never did this, but how dope is it you're at a party and somebody has a piano.
Sure.
And you
can play the piano, yeah.
Oh, you got a piano? Let me see. And then it's just like some James Bond shit. It's just like dope. And when you have these things, it gives you a level of confidence where somebody goes like, wow, he's so smart and he's confident and he can fight and make you feel protected and he's interesting and all these things. Those are the things that make you attractive. And then what happens is you also start to do it for yourself. Like it initially becomes something that you're doing just, because
it should be for yourself.
Yeah, but then you start liking it. You start liking it. I mean, I used to, even when we back in the days, I used to make my own costumes. So I taught myself how to sew.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool one.
Bought a sewing machine. I was like, all right, I figured. And this is before YouTube. With YouTube, you can learn anything.
Yeah, that's the other. Yeah.
I taught myself how to weld on YouTube. I just bought a fucking
welding
thing.
gear. Yeah.
And
I've learned how to solder. I replaced a bunch of stuff in my car. Door actuators. Yeah.
But I mean, you're at a place where you can learn these things. You don't even have. It's not even difficult. So yeah, anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, because that's what you're saying too, is having that game out of that comfort zone is what you want. And the only way you become comfortable is by pushing yourself and doing things you haven't done, and then you're gonna suck at it. You know, you got to understand that.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's something I say. There's a new saying I have, and I say it all the time. You either win or learn. You don't win or lose. You win and do it right, or you learn something from it, and it helps you get closer to the win. You know. So.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
100%. You know, I've been doing like I think it's been about like a year and some change since I've started like really applying ACE to my life.
Right.
And I would say under a year, everything changed. I wouldn't even say 9 months. Like within 9 months, I completely became a better man. Like met a woman I am going to marry.
Wait, hold off on that. Slow down. We just one day at a time. And you got to, you know.
I mean, it's been a while, like a year fully. I mean,
Yeah, that don't mean
it's been
not
a while,
enough time.
Actually, like 15 months or something.
I'm gonna
like
tell
that.
you that
That's not enough time.
Yeah, that. I mean, I'm
Tomorrow,
not.
I'm marrying her tomorrow. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, take your time and keep it in the play. And even if it is all perfect, doesn't mean that it won't change.
Still take your time.
Yeah.
Sure, fair enough.
You
Fair
got
enough.
money? You got money?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm like second period apprentice. I'm as an electrician, local 44.
Okay, all right. Get a.
Then really
get a
slow
prenup.
down.
Yeah, really slow down. Slow down. And if you do anything, yeah, prenup. Paperwork.
Anything you do,
Paperwork
make
and
sure
prenup.
you
Oh yeah, well that's of course.
I don't give a fuck
I'm
how
not gonna
much
put my
you.
fucking-
Yeah.
How much you? I mean, I can't tell you how. I just hope we're gonna do this forever. I just feel like I'm gonna love. Yeah, you're gonna love me forever until you don't.
So
That
there you
ain't-
go.
Yeah, no. Prenup isn't mandatory. I
right.
don't really believe in like blind. That's like putting all your eggs in one basket with like.
And if
no
you don't, let me
strategic
tell you something. If
outlook
you
of it.
don't have the confidence to ask for that, then you definitely not ready.
Oh yeah, no, that's not a problem. I think that's already.
Yeah.
in the
Well, he's not
back. There's,
speaking
that
just
kind of
towards
thing or
you.
whatever,
He's-
like,
I'm saying in general.
To everybody. He's letting everybody
can't,
know. Oh, yeah.
If you can't ask for what you want, this is something that I say all the time, and I would have. This is something that I learned because I've been in relationships that became sexless because there was it was a chick who just really wasn't sexually. I don't know if you've experienced where she likes you, but she don't really like this. She's not a sexual being, and then and then you.
Yeah, it's almost like the sex in the beginning part of the relationship was the audition.
Yeah.
Obligated to do.
Yeah.
And then once she gets comfortable, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't got to do that no more.
Yeah, or I don't really like. I mean, not that they don't like sex, but I'm just saying they just were not sexual in the way that I was sexual. That,
Which
like
makes it incompatible.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It's not. It doesn't make for a good long-term relationship.
So one of the things I
Can
tell
I
a
ask-
dude when he gets married is you need to say, listen, I do understand we get married, and I understand that fidelity, us, being faithful to each other, but you understand that you're gonna fuck me for the rest of my life. And the problem is when you don't open your mouth and say that, it hasn't been said. So your assumption is that, why would you marry me if you're not gonna fuck me? No. You gotta say it.
Absolutely.
You gotta open your mouth and say, you do understand I'm expecting you to fuck me for the rest of my life. You want fidelity. You want to be in a relationship, and you want me to be faithful, and you want me to protect you, and you want me to be all the things that I'm supposed to be a man, and integrity and authenticity and all those things. I do also expect you to fuck me. That has to be verbally said, because the assumption that there's an understanding of that, bullshit. I can't tell you how many times I've counseled sexless marriages.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, I mean that. Yeah, I definitely already had that conversation. And can I ask?
Sure.
So that that point of the sex disappearing, is that like across the board that's happened? Because like, would it be less common if you meet a woman and her personality is very sexual, like she truly does love sex, and like, she understands her own body, and that's like kind of not inherent to her character, but like definitely a deep part of her.
It will
Would
always
you- have you
diminish.
found
Would
your
you
own
say
personal
that? It
experience
always
that's not-
diminishes no matter how.
Sometimes sex diminishing has nothing to do with her actual desire for sex. It could be how she perceives you differently.
Yeah, that too.
And then you're not the object of her desire anymore.
That's a good point. But I also think, I think you have to first establish, you like fucking.
Yeah.
Because I like fucking. unless you somebody who don't like fucking, you know.
And you
But
got to
if-
keep that fire going
yeah,
too.
yeah.
gotta
I
make
mean,
sure
you
keep
got
the
to
fire
date
out.
your girl. Just because you get her,
Absolutely,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
over. You got to date your girl. But the point is you also need to be with somebody compatible. If somebody has the same range, it's in the same, that's compatible with you in that way. And if they're not, you need to check that. You need to be like, listen, you need to know that this is how I get down. This ain't the honeymoon for me. I'm always going to wake up and put it in you. You know what I mean? Like, that's always going to be how it is. And then she's got to go, well, oh, dude, you're so crazy. I'm like, no. I want you to understand, because I think you should say this. If it doesn't turn out that way, understand that I'm going to get it someplace else. I'm not going to fight you to fuck me. So get it popping or not. And I'm not saying you, okay, she's sick or she got a tumor or whatever. I'm just saying, I'm saying
Move
all
that
of it.
colostomy bag aside.
Yeah.
We got to get this going.
But ultimately, that's what you want. You want a chick to be like, yo, let me just, hold this colostomy bag. Let me load. You know what I mean? If that's how you get down. Understand who you are. The only way you can understand who you are is by exploring that in a real way. Okay?
100%. Cool side note though, what I do think is pretty cool is that like just by doing Ace and like being like that or like following those things,
Yeah.
she kind of started to follow it. Like she just had mentioned yesterday that she had like showed up or made sure to show up on time because she wanted to be credible. And I just thought that was super cool that like by following principles and like being around people who value that kind of a thing.
But you gotta understand, nobody can't treat you the way that they don't want to, that you don't let them treat you. If somebody treats you in a certain way, it's because you've let them treat you that way. Like it's not like even back in the
you
days.
Explain that?
So me and Punish was talking about back in the days, and he'll tell you, it's just not me blowing my own smoke. Motherfuckers knew. If I said something, it was on and popping. There was no wiggle room, like, oh, he might not fuck me up. Or if I fuck him over, that this is not gonna be a problem. Am I correct in that?
Nah, he's still on business.
Yeah.
Still on business.
And if I said this is what it is, on site. If we had a problem on site, it was on. It wasn't like, yo, I heard you, blah 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 blah. On site, you catching it. But what you have to understand is that's why. So, it's like we have 3 principles on the show. One is authenticity, tell the truth. 2 is credibility. Always keep your word. If you give your word, you got to keep it. Now, you don't always have to give it. But if you give it, you got to keep it. And empathy, that you understand that people go through things and their life is different. And those are the 3 principles that I live by. And all of everybody who I speak, if you live on that, because one of the things that I would say what made me kind of take to you in the first place is because you were a good dude. Like you weren't full of shit. You wasn't a liar. If you said you was going to do something, you did it. And we didn't always have a closest, like interaction like that. But I could count on you being what you see is what you get. And as a 52-year-old man, you start to realize that that is such a rare thing. Like when you think of all the people that you know in the course of your lifetime, you might be able to say there's 5 dudes that they get down like that, 100%.
Yeah, it's rare.
Yeah,
it's rare.
Yeah. So you got to understand basic math and supply and demand. Anything that is there's a scarcity of something makes it valuable. So if you're a man that if you're a dude that stands 10 toes down, that is so rare is what makes you the commodity. So yeah, you might get some fuck shit chick that just shady or whatever. But when you go, yeah, I'm not doing, and you walk away from it, yeah, they're gonna dabble in the wilderness with the wolves. But they'll always come back to the dude that I know that you could count on. And I know you got girls that to this day will still holler at you.
That's facts.
Yeah.
They always circle back because
Oh, I
you
wanna
set
hear
the
more about
standard.
that.
You set a standard, and they think they could find it or one up it, and
Yeah.
then they realize it's rare.
Yeah. And then you
Too
move
late.
on. You
That's
move
too late,
on,
they realize
and you
that.
forget them, and they go, "Oh, hey, you know, I get this all the time. I get some older chick. Oh yeah, oh I saw you on. I was just swinging back, just wondering, it's just what you been up to." And they'd be like, "Well, my daughter, she graduated for da 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 da.
I'm in this house alone.
And I go, "Look, are we fucking or what?" And they like, "Why you still so crazy?" No, but that's why you called. You called because all those dudes before didn't live up to this, and because you want another slice. After all these years, everything that I said to you that was true in the first place, you didn't believe me, and now you're back trying to figure it out again. So you got to keep. That's how you wanna be in your 50s.
Yeah.
Do you feel me?
Yeah. How do you know when to push your credibility to like challenge yourself?
You don't
and when
push
to
your
fall
credit.
back?
It's nothing to fall back. You say you keep your word. You tell the truth. You keep your word. I don't know what you mean by push your credibility.
So I mean, like, no, not like breaking your word ever. Knowing when to make a big promise and knowing when to if it is something.
If you can't keep it, don't make it. If you can't, what does it take you to go? Listen, this is a situation. I might be able to do this, and if I can, I'm gonna definitely pull through. And if I can't, man, I'm gonna do my best. It's funny because me and Pun was trying to, we were trying to connect to have him come on the show, and so he's actually waiting for the Diddy trial to drop the verdict. Now he had made commitments to other people on the Diddy trial, right?
Once the verdict drops.
He said, "Man, every time I said to him, and I knew what you meant." But I was just keeping it in your head that he was like, "Man, I really want to do it. I'm going to come through. But if the Diddy trial drops, I got to go do," because he made commitments before. So our communication was of a level of truth and credibility. Yeah. I'm not trying to fuck you, but something could come up. And that's just the truth. You feel me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope that helps. But.
Yeah, well, I got a little pointer that I follow myself with my credibility and stuff like that. Anything that I promise I'm going to do for somebody or a way I'm going to act or anything to that degree, I got to make sure it's remorse proof in terms of if I do it, if I say it or whatever, and I never speak to this person again or they flip on me and start acting a favorable way, I'm still good with that I did it.
Yeah.
So I think you should start with whatever your actions, whatever your promises are, whatever, do it from a place of authenticity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're still in the same thing. They can intertwine.
Yeah.
And if you go to make a decision or a promise or something to somebody that you have expectations that if I do this and it goes this way, I'm gonna be upset I did it, then those you might have to stay away from.
Yeah, don't do it. I don't give anything that when I'm looking for something in return. Yeah. Or I'm gonna say this is what I expect in return. And then we now we're both on board because we're both being legitimate about what it is. Now, if I find that somebody's not 10 toes down, I might not even say nothing. I just, all right. Yeah. But that's old age goes, all right. There's no sense in me where I would have, I ain't gonna lie, I would have went upside somebody's head on some flip. Well, but it's just not even worth that now. It's just like, all right, I got you. My bad. Well, I thought you was somebody that you're not. But you don't never get that opportunity again, though. And I think the important thing is, it's funny because you said that it's funny how I've all these years that I've been doing content and stuff, it's crystallized the lessons that we learn through being in the business and just the magnitude and amount of women that it's crystallizing into a lesson where you said you were like, yeah, it is authenticity. You know what I mean? And but it's also a situation where I'm always like honing it, polishing it. What are the what are the caveats that I haven't thought of? What are the situations where that doesn't necessarily work, or there needs to be a caveat to that? And the thing about what I find is really important is that emotion is the thing that may ego. Like, you got to remove, in order to make those decisions, you got to remove the emotion. You have to remove the emotion. If you're emotional about it, you're not going to make the right decision. So even anger is emotion, ego is emotion, fear is emotion, love is emotion. You have to step back and say, okay, if this wasn't me in this situation, how would I advise somebody to operate in the context of this? Big shouts to Vivian, $25 at the Cash App. Thank you, baby. So I think about. One of the things that I say to these young dudes all the time is never let emotion have a seat at the table, because the minute you allow emotion to have a seat at the table, it clouds your ability to make decisions. So you have to step back and move and be able to make the decision from an objective point of view. Even when I was roughing dudes up, I was never angry. I was like, okay, here's a guy who owes me some money. He's clearly testing me. He thinks he might be able to get away with this because he thinks maybe he could try me and get away with it. So if I would run up on somebody, even, let's say hypothetically, I slapped a dude with a gun butt, right? and maybe pulled the trigger while it hit his head. Just let's say hypothetically. I know that having a conversation with him is just that's not gonna get the point.
That's why you went right to the gun.
Oh, you go right.
Right.
You go right to smack him upside the head. Yo, man, hey.
Now, you don't do that with the mailman if he gives you the wrong
No,
letter. No,
no, I mean,
that's not how you handle all your business.
I don't even do that no more. Let's
Right.
just say. But
Okay.
the point is...
Hey, you put anchovies on this pizza. I specifically said pepperoni.
Right, exactly. It's just like, what do you mean you can't take this to the post office? You know?
Blah, blah, blah.
But the point being, it is strategic in the way. Everything should have an intention, all of the decisions you make, okay?
I hope that helps, bud.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. I wanted to ask Punisher,
Yeah.
like, you're saying, like, you're just discovering sort of the not being, I guess, so amenable or so overly nice. How's that affected your dating life now that you discovered that,
So I'm trying to get it back in order, right? Because it's habitual, man. Like if you I realize that my loving, caring nature is still a pleaser.
Yeah.
So it's constant work. It's organic. I gotta stay mentally on track, right? To not flip my own
To
circumstance.
fuck your shit. Yeah.
It's because
not to get caught being the
Well, you
people pleaser.
fight with that.
Oh,
all the time.
I'm a horrendous people pleaser, and I just have got to the level where I've had to not have someone take advantage of it. Whether women mean to or not, they're emotional, so they tug at your heartstrings.
Yeah.
So I've had to learn how to not do that and learn how to be righteous enough to go, yeah, that's not me. I'm not making it all about myself. That's not true. That's the last thing I do.
Yeah, I always say because he does that finger whack. Whenever he's had enough, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that's his poker toe. When he goes,
hit him with the Matumbo, the
yeah, he
Dikembe.
does this, like,
Not in my house.
Oh no,
And also not in this restaurant. Anywhere we're at.
When they go, you never,
Not in my supermarket. Because I've had to navigate that where I go, we're not doing this.
And I be screaming on him because even when he thinks he's being hard,
I'm better than I am.
Yeah, you're constantly getting
I'm
better.
in the top 95% of the world.
But I be on him. I'm trying to get that 10. I'm trying to get that last 8% out of him.
This is the guy in the mountains from Kill Bill, right? So it's never
Pow
enough
me.
in a sense. You're like,
Pop, 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 pop.
but my thing, it is like we're not talking about that anymore. We're done.
Yeah.
I've already explained myself. I went around and explained myself again in case you didn't understand it.
We just had a big, not a fight,
It's
but
on Patreon.
we did.
It is on. I don't know if it's out yet. It's going to be out this week if it's not out
We
yet.
just had a big thing because he was like, I said it once, I said it again.
I said it 4 times.
and I said, oh
right?
no,
And then I was done with
4.
it. 4. I
Only 4?
You say only 4? See, you're not there yet. You're like, come on, man. That's at least I go at least a dozen times. You just don't want to hurt
4.
somebody's feelings. Listen, I used to go round and round for years.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it this way.
Yeah.
No.
4 is great. 4 is pretty good.
Yeah, I said only 4?
Because
I'm
the one
2.
time you want to hear them out.
Yeah.
The second, so you give them an explanation. The second time, okay, maybe you didn't hear what I said. The third time is maybe you didn't understand the explanation. The fourth time is like, I'm gonna tell you this for the last time.
So you got a
before
5.
before I shut this down.
That's
shut
really
this out.
5, that.
No, that's not 5.
Oh, 'cause
I'm
they
gonna tell
gotta,
you
they gotta
this
fuck
on
you
the,
again on the
no,
fifth.
on the way out the door. Wait a minute.
That's 5.
Because they are gonna bring. No, all right.
They gotta fuck it up.
The fourth time does include the, and we're done talking about this.
Yeah,
This
so
ain't
the next
happening.
one is 5.
In the same night? What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying, in order for them to get cut off, it's 5.
No, the 4 is the cutoff.
No.
done-
The 4 is you just right. He
Yeah,
just said,
yeah. Because if the third was the cutoff, then the fourth doesn't happen, right? If you say the fourth, then
That's a
then
fair
you
point.
give
So
them
it
the
is
thing
4.
for the
It
fifth.
is
Yeah.
4. It is 4.
And I'm
It is
like,
4.
don't get me wrong. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
It's black belt stuff. It's
so
black belt
it's
stuff.
Look, I'm trying to do
Trying
the
to
Dim
teach you
Mac Death Touch.
The 5-finger death touch. Yeah,
Mine's
yeah.
is this.
Yeah. You go right at 1. You
listen,
go right
It's
0.75.
1.5. Let me explain something to you. First of all, I don't. Oh, the number's up 513-202. Nero. Nero. The first one is, listen, I'm really not comfortable with this. I don't like this, and I just want you to understand this is unsustainable. And and I don't give an ultimatum, but the next time, it's like, yeah, this is not working out.
Yeah, you're out.
And what? Yeah, it's not working out. I had a chick. I had a chick that we got a call. Let's go. What's your name? Where you calling from, family?
Yo, Dante, it's Danny from Utah. How you been?
What's going on, kid? How you doing? How can I help you, bro?
Good. I just give you your props again. Ever since I initially spoke to you, I've been racking up my numbers and my confidence has been like at an all-time high. But my issue now, Dante, is I'm currently dating, right?
Okay.
And I'm not just dating one girl.
Okay.
I'm kind of exploring my options right now.
Well done.
Okay.
Well done.
The problem I'm having is I'm getting too emotionally attached to these girls.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Well, then you're not getting overly attached. You're just having a good. You just like everybody. This is a situation that you're not comfortable. You can't love everybody.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're not emotionally attached. You're just emotionally attached to coming, and then it's like you like all these girls. Look, I mean, listen. When I had my run with a roster of like 8, there's something I liked about all of them.
Yeah.
Right. And
so-
then 6 months when I initially spoke to Dante, I had only smashed.
Oh, so
like,
we
my
had done.
numbers
We
were-
did a consultation 6 months ago.
Yeah,
And
and
where was your body count? Where was your body count then?
My body count then was 3.
And where's it at now?
Now it's 8. So
That's not bad.
That's it. That's a massive
It's-
increase in 6 months.
yeah,
This guy's a prodigy.
He's going at it.
You should take up the violin.
yeah. So and then most of that has just been in the last 2.5 months.
Now that wasn't a one and done. That you got 4 on the roster that you wrote in rotation.
3, I think.
Yeah,
Three-
I know.
three in
Yeah,
rotation.
and the thing is, it kept changing, so I kept meeting new girls, and they kept getting added. But recently, this girl I was seeing, I dropped the rest of them because I thought it was leading to something, and then she ghosted me. She ghosted me.
Let me ask you this:
What was that?
how soon into meeting this one chick did you drop the rest of them on the roster? How long were you messing about?
3 weeks in.
Oh my goodness, no!
Yeah.
Oh, you're hurting my heart
I
here.
know.
Pun, you want
I
this?
fucked up.
You want to feel this?
Well, no, I have a question, right?
Yeah.
Describe to me what emotionally attached is.
Good question.
Are you falling in love, or are you just becoming jealous, possessive? They're all mine, and I don't want them with anybody else.
that's a good point.
What's your emotional
Is it ego?
attached? Yeah.
And it's
So I don't think it's the jealousy. I think I
Jealousy.
feel lonely when I'm not getting the attention from these females, and it's making me kind of crave
But that has nothing to do with them.
No, but it actually, I mean, it has nothing to do with
him.
them. It has to do with you, but it is answering the question of why you're making yourself emotionally attached to these girls. You're doing, even though you're dating multiple women, you're doing the same thing that maybe the same thing you would do
with one.
when you're not getting laid is you meet somebody and you find all the best qualities in them because you don't want to be alone. Yeah. So I remember in high school, this one dude, he was getting laid. He's a Cuban baseball player. This dude, shout out to Manny. Why not? We're using government names.
I'm from Cuba, and I like the pussy. Very good for me.
I like to play baseball, and then I like to fuck. He spoke perfect English. He was from it. I do it a lot. But one time I go, this one girl, I go, there's something special about her. He goes, hey, man, there's something special about all of them. And I was like, okay. That was like my first lesson.
Fair enough.
He goes, there's something special about all of them. And I go, okay. And so my point is you're answering your own question, bro, in the sense that you're not really attached to them. You're attached to the connection that you get because you're scared of being alone for some reason. But this is also new to you. Yeah. And this will wear off in the sense of you'll become more comfortable and you'll figure out what your base level is. What I'm more concerned about is the fact that you, 3 weeks in with this one chick, you told the rest of them to kick the curb.
Why would you?
That's not how you do this.
First of all, did you ask her to be in the relationship?
What was that?
Did you ask her to be in the relationship?
So I had asked her.
Yeah. Okay. Did you ever hear
what
me?
she was looking for.
Have you ever? Yeah. That's. I never asked a girl to be in a relationship. Yo, Dom, can you put up because Punisher's got his book. I want to plug his book a couple of times, please. Can we put a copy of the book up on the screen, please? Y'all check this out. Everybody who's listening, pick up this book. You want to talk about the book real quick?
There we go.
Yeah. So this book is it's really centers around male confidence. I call it In Search of Freezer Meat. I'm a little bit older, so I ran into a scenario being a ladies' man or whatever where I started going through mental erectile dysfunction. Now, the book is stories about my life and stuff like that led to how my confidence issues created anxiety, and then it started creating issues for me in the bedroom. So the book tells you all these great stories, all these great lessons from men, great scenarios that come about, but it also it works on your masculinity, similar to what you're getting from the show. Yeah. And it shows you how you can derail yourself mentally, start having sexual issues, but everybody tells you it's a physical problem. Pop a pill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do this stuff like that.
No, but it can be very psychological, especially somebody like you who's been there and done everything.
Ain't nothing
and
fresh.
Now it takes, now it takes a lot more. Now you got to light fireworks off inside of her,
Exactly. And the real actual statistic facts is that more than 50% of erectile dysfunction and sexual issues is all mental. There's nothing wrong with you physical. That's what it was with me. I went to the doctor. There was nothing wrong with me physical. And I just had all this stuff going on in my head. So I was able to kind of figure out where the issues were coming from through just personal stories. And the crazy thing is my erectile dysfunction and anxiety issues started for me when I was a virgin.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. I developed anxiety before I even had sex the first time.
Which is where these guys are at now.
Exactly.
So,
Which is
can I
why
add
I
to
broke
that?
that in. Yeah. Go ahead.
Lately, I'm experiencing that as well. I don't know if I'm building like this big picture in my head, and when it comes down to actually sex, I struggle sometimes.
Are you watching porn? You watching a shitload of porn?
I was, but I cut it down like a couple months back.
Stop watching porn, dude. Stop watching porn. Stop jerking off.
Let me ask you this. Do you get anxiety before sex?
So with this recent one, this was last weekend. It took me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
it took me three dates to finally fuck, but I fucked her and I was just having a hard time performing.
Yeah.
And I think I built this picture in my head that it was gonna be like great, and I like was craving it so bad. When it actually came down to it, it gave me anxiety, you know, and it like threw me
Good,
off.
go ahead, Pun, take that because this is
you might have
this
the
is
answer to this.
and buy that book, man.
Yeah.
Pick up that book, yo. Is it on Amazon? Or?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, man.
Okay.
So Amazon is the paperback, the ebook, and the audio book. If you want to just buy the audio book and throw it on your headphones, it's cool. But yeah, that's what I was trying. The thing you're talking about is the light that I'm trying to shed, man. Like there's so much sexual pressure on us as men, just in general, right? Because that's your value. Right, your value is your sexuality, and your wallet.
At least that's what we think.
Yeah, and your wallet. Yeah, that's what society tells us, right?
Yeah.
That's the baseline. So you're just starting out, already putting the pressure on yourself.
Yeah,
and you need to understand that's all it is. It's all in your head. It's all in your head, and it's ways you can evaluate and work around that.
And there techniques and stuff in the book as well.
Yeah, man.
Give me one. Hit him with one because he's saying he's having this problem now.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the first and foremost thing is you have to be confident with your sexual ability, because you're confident with your own sexual ability, then kind of brings down your own anxiety. Right?
Well, how does a guy who hasn't had a lot of experience gain the confidence?
Well, it's all about your dynamic with the woman you're dealing with, right? Once sex should always be, to some degree, a conversation, right?
Right.
To acknowledge her desire, acknowledge what she likes, what she doesn't like. Women, as far as I'm concerned, they enjoy this, right? So you're building up this whole sexual fantasy in your head, and she's not involved in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you creating a fantasy that you trying to live
You got
up
the
to
cape
or whatever.
on. You got the cape on and the S on your chest.
And she doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So be comfortable enough to make your intention known. And if she feeds into your intention, that's a confident boost right there.
Yeah.
Also, I think part of this is a lot real fast for him, because if you're going from having 3 all time and then
pick up the book and read the book,
and
seep that in. But I want to so there's something that came to mind. So here's it's funny because like we've been doing this show 12 years now, Harry?
Yeah, at least maybe since 2012.
Yeah, so it's 13 years.
13 years.
So like, you know, authenticity, credit. These words that I use, they keep coming up and again. Things that I say, like, never let emotion have a seat at the table. Something else that I say is RFF. It's like you're having an argument. Are you reasonable, fair, and firm? Is it what you're asking for? Is it reasonable? Is what she's asking you for reasonable? Are we being fair to each other? And am I being firm about what my boundaries are? So you have these little acronyms and stuff that you could just go to. It'll just hit you in your head. And I get a lot of dudes who I counsel and stuff. They instantly will hear my voice in the back of their reasonable, fair, and they, you know, it's like a checklist that they can go through. One of the things that I say that's interesting about this, and I also wanted to bring up something with you about the boundaries, but how does a woman get to know who you are? What's your name, brother, on the phone? What's your name?
It's Danny.
Danny, how does a woman get to know who you are? Do you remember me saying this to you before?
Yeah, it had been a while.
Okay.
But
so I won't waste the time.
You show her.
You tell her. You tell her. You tell her in what you say, what you do, how you stand, the tone of your voice, the cadence of your voice, how you act, what your boundaries are. You tell her what kind of man you are, right? So here's the interesting thing. If you can't perform, right, and if you cannot perform and you're in a situation and then you're panicking, right, what you're also signaling to her is that, I'm shaken by this, like I'm fucked up about this, and then she hones over. So like
it's cycles basically.
Dude, I got a dude that I counsel. He makes high 6 figures, right? Benz, house, doctor, good looking dude, ripped, good handsome dude, but he also has low self-esteem because his pops was a piece of shit and told him he was jealous, but had a beautiful girl he was married to, and he just kept telling her, "Oh, I'm just so lucky to be with you, and I'm just, because he had this low self-esteem." And what do you think she did? Eventually,
She started believing it.
She cheated on him.
Yeah.
He told her that he wasn't worthy. And he just kept telling her, and she would be like, "You're handsome. I love the way you look. Your great body. The sex is good." He just didn't believe her, and he kept telling her until she was like, "Well, I mean, you know your product better than I do, so you keep telling me you ain't shit. I guess you ain't shit." And then she stepped down on him. Even when you have there's nobody that hasn't gone through some kind of performance situation at some point in time or another. The point is, when you make it, when you think that's the only value that you get, you panic, and then you communicate to her, "Oh, I'm not worthy because I can't keep my dick hard. I'm not worthy because I can't fuck you until you're tired." When you could say, "Yeah, I'm just not into it right now." Like, you could literally go, "Yeah, I'm not. But you got to believe that too.
Yeah.
The problem is that you really do what your value is. And the only way that I've found that you can have the confidence of that is that you have to be more than just your dick.
I think that'll come for him because, again, I think there's a lot of this that's happening real fast, right? So he's like a kid who just got he got drafted. He got drafted into the NFL. He's doing really well, but every once in a while, you're scared of
he's Zion
missing
eating
the pass.
cheeseburgers.
Yeah. I think part of it is you have to remember. I think because you are. It's I went through the same thing because you meet a girl and you're like, all right, I better please her so that I could be called back. It's like, and then. With the more you do this and the more, and when in doubt, slow it down, like change it up. If you're having trouble performing,
take a breather.
Take a breather.
Get it back later.
Go down on her, more
lick
foreplay.
A booty hole. See, whatever.
Lay on your back, have her
and the
do
thing
some
that made
stuff.
it harder for me was she was being like really reserved, so like she wouldn't let me go down on her. She wouldn't let me.
So,
kind of
and why? Why was
like,
she not doing that? Because she was uncomfortable with herself, with her own body. Is that what it was, or she just didn't want to?
I think so, because she was wearing a romper that day, and she wouldn't take off her bra in the upper section of her romper. She was initially telling me to like slide her panties over, but she didn't want to take off her romper. So like I thought that was kind of weird.
Is your first time hooking up with this girl?
What was that?
Was this the first hookup with her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I met this girl, and I had to take her on like 3-4 dates already. So it had been a while of us talking. So it was the first time she came over.
Fun fact: I like a little slide of panties over.
I don't mind that.
I don't mind that either. What I'm hearing is she probably has her own insecurities.
And you making it yours.
Yeah, those were her insecurities.
Yeah.
And that threw you off. So if that throws you off, you gotta kind of take for her insecurities. You gotta go, hey, let's stop for a second. I just want to make sure you're okay, and you be more comforting.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But you go, I just want you to be comfortable. I want you. This is no fun. I always say, and this is the truth. It's not a lie.
Yeah, it ain't
this
fun
is no
for you
fun.
if you got to do that.
This is no fun if you're not enjoying it. I'm not having fun if you're not having fun. I want to make sure you're okay.
Especially if you're a giving dude.
Right.
If you're a pleaser.
And that's legitimate. I'm not enjoying it if you don't enjoy it. That's part of it for me.
Yeah.
Is that you have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So and also I think you just have to approach all of this
you got to slow down, dude. You just I'm glad that things are going for you. Hit me up, do a consultation. DanteNero.com, click on consult. We can do another consultation but this is all very new and it's fresh, and you're going to make mistakes, and understand something, you're just not going to be good at this.
Out the gate, but you're doing phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean,
you're already winning.
Pun's been with 8,000 women before, and
potentially
87, 80, 92 was it? What is it?
95.
This is why I thought it was really important for you to come, because people.
Let's let this kid go.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, man. Yo, man. Thank you for calling, bro.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you so much.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, Danny.
Thank you.
Hold on one second. Big shout to Darren. Thank you for the $20, big boy. Root. That's my frat brother.
Because you're saying, Dante, that look, a guy like Punisher, who's still in fantastic shape,
Yeah.
right? He's got the numbers, so he certainly has the ability to swag. He's been there, he's done it, and there's still,
it's still issues.
troubles with relationships because it always is work.
Yeah. Still,
Never not work.
yeah.
Are you still stripping? Bud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, how is
30 dude, this Labor Day will be 30 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
30 years in the
30
game
years.
and still going
Yeah.
strong. Now, does
You
that
have to
affect
take
the-
me to the gym, get me back in, and get
Oh,
this money.
boy. You make a comeback, show these kids what's up?
I was nice, son.
I understand.
dude,
I
but-
was sick with it.
MJ, bro. I'm
I
telling
know,
you.
but-
I dive over you and Punisher overhead. I'd be up here.
With your tongue sticking out and everything?
Dog, I did a thing one time. Oh man, you ever did the armory at so you know the one with the tiers where they
Yeah.
used to strap the tanks in and stuff.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
they-
yeah.
So I climbed up the drainage pole to the third tier, which is what, maybe 60 feet, maybe 60 feet.
Jesus
You know what I'm
Christ.
talking about? The third.
Dude, when you finish the story, I'm gonna tell you exactly why I know what you're talking about. But go
All
ahead.
right. So I climbed up the pole 3 tiers up, right? And the girls were up there, and I'm getting tips and stuff. I take one of their jackets, one of their leather jackets, throw it over the cable, and I slide down the cable to the floor
Oh, Jesus.
on the
like
on
a
this
zip line.
chick's like some
The Mission
some-
Impossible
like
shit.
the transporter type shit.
Oh,
But good. Tell me
crazy.
what you was gonna.
So he said he climbed up 60 feet. Like I say, he's MJ and Kobe. You ever been to the lab?
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah.
the lab had the same metal joints,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna take some MJ moves. I climb up the metal joint, but
Oh,
I
boy.
didn't get to the girls, but they had a bar, so I grabbed the bar and I like went upside
Hanging
down.
from-
And I'm doing upside down floor work. Whatever.
Jesus.
I'm telling you, bro,
Yeah,
it's
was
whatever
wild.
it takes,
It was
man.
wild. It
Hey.
was wild. And then you get with a chick that I really like, and then
Yeah.
it's a mess.
And then
It's a fucking mess.
next thing you know, she's running you ragged.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, do you still date girls that you meet at shows? Does that
So
happen?
I try to do that now. I almost have to do that now. Because look, let's keep it 100, right? When you're in your 20s, being a stripper is cool. When you're in your 30s, it's like,
Yeah.
this what you do?
Yeah.
When you get past 40, the thought process is, oh, this guy's a complete loser if he's
Yeah, yeah.
doing
To whom,
this.
though?
Because women look for security and stability, right?
Yeah, but
so
fuck
when they
that.
hear
See,
but it's still the presentation.
Bro, do
Yeah,
you have
but Pun,
money?
I'm gonna tell you something.
That's
and this
cool
is,
as
I'm
shit.
gonna tell you
Fuck
something.
them, whatever
What's
it is.
crazy is that yes, initially, look, they will fuck you.
Yeah.
They will fuck you, and if they fuck you, nigga, that's the Venus flytrap. You fuck me, I got you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think I understand what you mean is that they're older and they're more mature, they want something. Yeah, but dog.
Yeah, shut up.
You shut your mouth,
Yeah,
shut
you
your pie hole,
dirty-
because
I need a man of a certain
he's
caliber.
such a good dude.
Shut up.
He's such a good
Yeah.
dude. It's just like
Because they think, again, it doesnn't matter what she thinks she wants. You always say that, Dante.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
woman doesn't know what she
a
wants.
woman doesn't know what she wants. Her pussy does.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, listen, no woman I've ever been with signed up for what I do in life. To be a stand-up comedian that's out every Friday, Saturday night. They're home by themselves. No one signs up for that.
Big shout to Theo Wells. Thank you for the $10 on the Cash App. Thank you, brother.
It's the world that you create.
Yeah.
I'm so dope. I mean, what you're doing is incredible. I mean, you have your own place. You're paying for your own stuff. You're making a living, a good
Yeah.
living at that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
then it doesn't matter. You're the one who's thinking about it more than they are because you're thinking about them thinking about
He's a
it.
good dude.
You're just a good dude,
He's
right?
a good dude.
But
Like,
you're a good dude who has a different type of job, but it doesn't change the fact that you're a
Yeah.
good dude. So, like that shouldn't matter. It's
I mean, Usher stays molesting chicks on stage,
oh, Jesus.
ruining marriages,
Facts.
right? With herpes, and nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah,
Do you
that
feel
is
me?
true.
It's like-
Nah, that's official.
So it's like,
Anyway, I interrupted your thing, but I think what you do is cool as shit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it
just
is.
all how you perceive it.
Yeah,
But
you're
you're
probably
saying you
right.
date-
You're probably right. I'm probably overthinking
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dynamic
Oh, yeah.
of what I do in terms of my dating and how I meet chicks. Because then I'll make sure I meet chicks in that environment. 'Cause
Yeah.
at least in that environment,
they know what
They
they
know,
assess it.
so
they know
yeah,
what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 But it's have you been working on that sort of thing of like, all right, can't be too people pleasing. I gotta be careful. I can still be nice, but I can't get taken advantage of.
Yeah. So the good thing about it is there's nobody that I'm vulnerably connected to.
Right.
Right. So I'm in a place of power.
Right.
So everything I go into is still centered around me. It's just when you make that connection,
That's where it
I
starts
can't let
to-
it shift.
I'm
right?
gonna help you with this right now.
Oh,
I'm gonna
right
fix
now?
this right now.
Right here?
First of all, here's the first thing that you got to understand. Same thing. Like you tell them who you are. So when you go, well, I'm a stripper, and they're gonna think this. I actually pimped a little bit during and after. I was like literally a personal manager, and I remember this chick that I was on a radio show and I was doing an interview and I was dating this chick and I was talking about it. Yeah, I was in the game a little bit for a while, blah 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 blah. And they were asking me questions, they were fascinated by it, whatever. And then we were dating seriously, and she hears my interview afterwards, and I'm at the comedy club. Like, it's like I was 20s at the time. She's like, I need to talk to you. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm at the club. Come down to the club. So she comes down to the club and she goes, I was listening to your interview and one of the things is I don't hide anything. I'm an open book when it comes to this stuff because I don't want to be lied to. I don't think that nobody's worth me lying to. And she was like, oh, I heard you used to pimp and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I was in my 20s. And I go, I hope you didn't come down here to break up with the relationship because of the fact something I did when I was 20. I said, because I know you had to have sucked the dick that you didn't want to, that you shouldn't have sucked now. So, I mean, if I just want to know, let me be clear, because if you're looking at me as if you're going to make a value judgment on something that I did when I'm 20, right? I go, you're probably right. We shouldn't be together. And she was like, no, I just was taken aback. No, you wasn't like, what? So what was this urgency? Because I go, I'm the same way anyway. The same way I hollered, what we doing? And she was like, no, I just was taken aback for it. I go, yeah, it was something that I did when I was 20. I wouldn't be the guy that I am today if I had not gone through that experience. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed of it. And I'm owning it. Anything else? No, and that's all right. Well, let's get home and go smash. Like, what the fucking? And I think when you, the vulnerability that you express is what they take advantage of. And you
because
gotta,
they think they can take advantage of you. Because if you're too soft, then they start. Oh, okay, I can do this. I can push a little more. I can
guarantee you can off the top of your head you can rattle off 30 girls that have hit you up from the past. Hey, it's because you were a good dude. So the value of who you are is that you're a good dude. Mm-hmm. It's not any of the all of that smashing, all of that being filthy, being this guy who other women find attractive.
That gets you in the door.
All of that is great too. But the fact that you are a kind dude is the thing that keeps them. And I just think that you have to go. Nobody. I don't care how much you like this girl. And this, I'm gonna just say this. And this is gonna go. I gotta say this. There's never a situation where you date a woman and you win. Part of being a man is that you make sacrifices.
Being with a girl, being in a relationship is always you're sacrificing something.
You are sacrificing more than you get
time, money, energy, whatever it is.
You're going to have to listen to shit you don't want to listen to. You're going to have to go places you want. You're going to have to talk to people you don't want to talk to. You have to do things. But what happens is doing that is what makes us men. That's the thing that status that we can look in the mirror and say, man, I'm a good dude because my woman is happy. Because being with your woman and she's unhappy makes you feel like shit anyway. So you have to put your happiness first because your happiness is attached to her happiness. Because what kind of guy are you that you got a girl and she's miserable? Yeah. You feel like you failed because she's miserable. Yeah. And then when it's too bad, then you got to go, what you're saying is not true. You got to do the Harry. That's not true.
No, not doing that.
Oh, you just don't, you're not sensitive. No, I'm always sensitive, and I'm always considerate, and I'm always, so I think those things.
That's where the credibility comes in, because if you're so credible, because if someone comes up to you, goes Punisher, and goes, I mean, Punisher's a deadbeat. He doesn't pay his bills.
You go, nah.
And you go, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about, but that's not me.
Yeah. And
Right?
people would say that.
Right? Punisher's he's an evil. Don't trust him. He's an evil dude.
He's a snake.
Who
Nah.
the fuck
son,
are you
get the
talking
fuck
about?
outta
Because
here,
you
dude.
know enough to know, hey, that's not what I know what I do.
Yeah.
And just because somebody says, because somebody will make up shit all the time about you if they don't like you, and especially in relationships when women are on their way out or they're unhappy, they do change the script because it's emotionally based.
And you're the villain.
You're the villain.
So a whole movie you write, and then somehow I'm the villain. 513-202-NERO. What time is it? Because we gotta
9:51.
shut
We
down.
got time either. I mean, I don't know. We got time to.
We got a few.
We got a call?
Not yet. No.
No, if not, then I mean, I still want to talk to him about his, because I'm fascinated by the story, by the book. I think it's great, man, that you
buy that book.
Yeah.
Buy that book. What's the name of the book?
In Search of Freezer Meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buy.
You know how many people like?
That's
I mean,
Sheree Punisher Hayes.
all
Man.
right, cool.
do you know how few people publish a book? How fucking
that's-
cool is that?
that's so dope,
you're making money as an exotic dancer. Every guy's kind of dream. Like, you're in great shape. You're an author of a book. I don't give a shit what anyone else has to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're living a dope life.
I had guys who know that I knew you, and they were like, "Yo, I'm like, yo, suck my dick, get the fuck out of it." You know, like trying to, because they're
What were they
jealous.
trying to do?
Oh, yo, he trying to get the bag. I was like, dog, that's not the dude. I'm telling you, he's not that dude. He's just not that. That's not who the fuck he is. Like, I mean, we all trying to get the bag, but when you say, oh, he's trying to get the bag, that what they're saying is he's trying to get the bag at any cost, and that he has no scruples and no morals about, and that's just not that's not how you. That's just not the dude that you are. And what I also find is that it's funny because when you were like, if you gotta, people never change. So if somebody's lead up, if you meet a chick and she's like, oh, you're this, you're that, I can't fuck with you because you're this or that, you're fucking corny.
Yeah.
Like, as if you got your shit. So we got a call? Let's go. This is the last call of the night, y'all. What's your name? Where you calling from, family?
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, hello?
Yeah, what's the problem? How can I help you, bro?
Hey, my name's Mike from Minnesota.
Hey, Mike from Minnesota. What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. So what I got is I got this woman that I'm like not messing with, but back and forth with, right? Interested.
Are you having
She's
sex or
interested
no?
in me.
Y'all haven't had sex. Is that what you're saying?
No sex. So,
Okay.
So I meet her we go to a group together.
Okay.
Here's the deal. She's got an old man.
Okay.
But the girl is around me. She stays by me.
Okay. What's the question?
Wherever I go. Hey, I'm busy.
Nice.
Okay,
I hope that's not her.
So whatever I do, she's present. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I turn around, she's standing by me.
Okay.
She's touching me. She's sending all the signals. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
She's got an old man.
Okay. What's the question?
I don't know. What am I supposed to? Is this morally right? Should I be doing
No,
this?
but it's not morally
Look,
right.
here's
But it's not your responsibility.
I want to Pun. You want to take that one?
Listen, man.
Hey, listen. If her old man ain't keeping her happy and she's out looking,
That's
then,
not the point. But
I mean,
go ahead.
So I'm gonna
That's
tell
what
you
it
this
is.
way. I'm gonna tell you this way, right? It is her responsibility
To maintain
respect
the
the
relationship.
man in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not your responsibility.
Exactly.
So if she's interested and she decides to make a lateral move or a choice or whatever that is to your benefit, then you should indulge, right? And whatever guilt or whatever issues, that should fall on her, right?
I
You just
agree.
being you.
All right.
I agree. I
get
100%. You don't. I don't think you agree.
No,
with
I
that.
agree. I just wouldn't do it. I don't like to. It's no fun for me. The stress of that is no fun. I've done it, and the
Yeah.
stress of it bothers me. Like being in
I mean,
the
it
house.
ain't no stress. It's like.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
Being in the house for me, I'm like, all right, I got to make sure I bring shoes that I could put on.
Well, I'm not
keep
going to
them
his
tied.
house.
Yeah, we didn't tell him to go over
I
there.
know, but I did.
We
I
just
did.
said-
But also just the notion of what if there's somebody following and all that shit. I don't
but
like it.
When any of that happens, you go, yo, talk to your girl.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I guarantee
So-
this happened to you. where some
Hey,
chick.
I don't know the dude.
Yeah,
That's not the point.
That's what we're saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it is her responsibility to maintain.
I
your
agree with that.
relationship.
It's her
It
responsibility.
is not your
Yeah.
responsibility because if she's doing this and she's on the make anyway, it ain't gonna stop. If
mean,
it
it's
ain't
not
you,
gonna-
it's
gonna be somebody else.
It'll be somebody else. And so, and it may be a relationship that might be meaningful and whatever to you, but it's her. It is her responsibility.
It's not your
and
responsibility.
I know you've had this.
Now,
where
Punisher, you've never slept with a married woman. That's against your. You would never do that. would you?
Actually, that's my preference.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, okay. I read this wrong. I was way off on this. Okay. That's my preference.
No problems.
If I don't see a wedding band on, I'm not interested. I
Listen,
can't even.
baby, why don't you go get married and come back?
Yeah.
Well,
man.
you get this because I've got this where, yo, motherfucker, when we actually handed out business cards and stuff, yo, motherfucker, you was with Michelle, and I was like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and I'm like, yo, I don't know who you're talking about.
Exactly.
And he goes, Michelle, you know who the fuck Michelle is? I go, I know a lot of Michelles, right? And he goes, well, you better leave it a fucking alone. I go, Doug, first of all, calm down. Second of all, I don't know. You might be right. I may have fucked your Michelle. The problem is, this is your responsibility it is your girl's responsibility to maintain the sanctity of their marriage or your relationship. But it's not my job. I can totally get that somebody might not want to indulge, but the point is, you have to understand that this is all he's on borrowed time anyway, and you cannot. But this is somebody who doesn't have a framework where she respects him anyway. So
You don't respect him.
yeah. So then you got
Not even a little
then
bit.
the question is, say, yo, what's up? Yo, what we doing?
Yeah.
And
That's
I don't let
that's where it's
nobody
going.
hang out with me either. You can't just be around me. Right? Am I
And that's
wrong?
what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
I mean, look, man.
Yeah.
The way that I look at it, you may be a benefit. You may put her in a good mood. That things get
Maybe you're
better
helping-
in
you're
their
helping the
household,
marriage, you're
bro.
saying?
You could be an assistance to their happiness, bro.
Punisher has saved many
Yeah, who
marriages in his life. He really is.
Yeah, I think, but this hanging out and kind of in limbo, I don't think that's a good thing. Make it, shoot your shot, find out what's going on.
I'm not emotionally invested in this.
I
I'm
get
No
not
it.
one
like
thinks you are based on this phone
No,
call.
nobody thought
Yeah,
that.
no one believes that you are.
Nobody
Yeah.
thought you
But,
gave a
but I do.
fuck.
I kind of do want to snatch. I kind of want
Well,
to
then
snatch
crack,
it away for
crack
a little
and
while.
see
Go
what
for
it is.
it.
Crack
Do
and
it.
see what it is.
Do it. I mean, you have
But
no qualms about it. Do
I
it.
would say stop. I don't let nobody. If I'm interested, and I'm trying, I don't just let somebody just get my
The
time.
next time
and hang
she's
around
within
me.
2 feet, 24 inches of you, you go, hey, what's up? Let's do this.
Yeah, what's going on? What we
Yeah.
doing here?
And
See what-
and it's like that. Everything I do, she's next to me. She's here. She's there. She's you know how it is.
Yeah, and she might not push up because she doesn't want to be rejected.
Women
because
don't ever want to
they
make
don't
the
want
first
the
move.
rejection.
So just,
I know, and I can tell she's got that low self-esteem thing going on too. Like she's,
I mean, don't we
she's
all?
kind of a yeah.
Don't we all?
No, I know.
Yeah, but
No,
yeah,
I-
you're
Hey,
right.
quick question for my own. I think we've solved your problem, but who was that you were telling you were busy? I need to know who you were saying you were busy to, like 4 minutes ago.
So that was
Say 'cause my
that was
fucking wife.
that was my brother. So I got a half brother,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay.
That was his mom.
All right.
So she's not my mom.
She better
Actually,
recognize. I know his half brother's mom better watch
Listen.
herself. She better watch her
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
mouth.
I'm good
That's
on
what
that
she better
stuff.
do.
But she, my brother called you, Dante, a couple months ago
Oh.
with a roofer from Minnesota.
Oh,
that
yes.
his wife was leaving him.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah. Absolutely.
Oh,
How's he doing?
He finally pushed clear of her, and he's on to something else. He's doing good, really.
Tell him,
Nice.
tell him to
doing
tell him to hit me with a consultation too.
Dude,
Keep him in-
Minnesota,
keep
I'm
him-
going to let you know, Minnesota, low key.
Yeah.
A lot of freaks up in
Oh
Minnesota.
yeah, you know that.
Just based on
Hey,
some
listen,
of the
I'm going to
websites.
get you for a consultation, too, here real soon, Dante.
All right, brother.
Hey,
I
do it,
appreciate
bro.
you, man. Real quick. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Plug the book one more time.
Yeah, so the book's called In Search of Freezer Meat. It's on Amazon, all platforms. It's a real good read for men just about life, funny stories, and your anxiety, your self-confidence, your masculinity. It'll give you a different perspective on how to be the best version of you.
And I really wanted him to come on because I know he's authentic in a way that it would just come off that way. 'Cause guys are asking me, they need a new book. So
well, this is one of those books, everybody. In Search of Freezer Meat. Great cover, too.
Harry, go.
You can follow all my social media at Harry Turjanian. I'm actually going to launch something real soon that's going to be fun on there. That's where all my stand-up clips are, my wrestling stuff, at Harry Turjanian. But if you love this show and you love the content, do us a favor. Go over to patreon.com/manschool202. You sign up. You get bonus content. We do a weekly episode and classic episodes starting from episode 1. So there's all sorts of knowledge in there. Plus, if you're a member of the Patreon, we base the episodes around your questions. You get to decide what you want to hear. It's and it also keeps this show going. So patreon.com/manschool202.
Real quick, big shout to Eric Penaranda. Thank you for the $5 on the Cash App, bro. I appreciate you.
I think there's another 10 one that we didn't get a chance to answer their question.
Oh, there's a good. Do it real quick.
Shinobi.
What's the question?
Yo, Dante, how do you bridge
That's the Cash App.
Yeah, it says here $9.99.
Yeah.
On the YouTube, on our YouTube channel, Manschool202. Yo, Dante, how do you bridge the gap of being attractive and being that good, righteous dude?
It's easy. You just tell the truth. Just follow those principles. Be authentic. Keep your word and have the empathy for this is what we say. Start
tonight.
Yeah. There's no mystic
wiggle room
thing, and there's got to be no light between those things. Always tell the truth. And that doesn't mean you got to give your word on everything. If you're not sure you can come through, then don't give your word.
That's not giving. Yeah, giving your word is being honest about what you can and cannot do.
And you got to understand that women go through things that we don't have to go through. You know what I mean? And if you do that on a base level, you're going to be fine. Just follow the principles and just listen to the show, man. Just listen to the lives. Also, follow me on all my Dante Nero, all the stuff Dante Nero and Man School and everything else. So follow my Instagram, my YouTube. I'm going to start putting more content up, comedy content. Y'all can see how motherfucking funny I am. Stop the madness. Also, I'm going to start going live again on Sunday and Thursday as well. GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what with Dante? Big shout to Domino in the booth. We are out of here, man. Peace.
Man School 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.